And good morning, everyone. Good morning, Rodney.
Good
Good morning,
morning. Good
AC.
morning.
I
How you
see you
doing?
there in the comments. So glad to have you
Ooh,
with us this morning on the This Way Network for the chat session lineup. It's
That's right.
just me and Rodney this morning.
Yeah. Well, that's a
Yay!
good thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was going
Well,
to say.
yeah. Well, yay is a good thing. That's what I'm saying. And
Yeah, I kind of,
wow.
I kind of look forward to, I love having our guests, don't get me wrong.
Of
But I
course.
kind of look forward to the times when it's just you and me because I enjoy the conversation so much.
Yes. 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 I
Yeah.
think that. Well, it's really remarkable how many really good things happen over the course of a week between one chat
Mhm.
session to the next. And so this particular weekend was actually here in Southern California. It was a big, big event, which I actually had the pleasure of being the publicist and director of marketing for. And it was the seventh annual Los Angeles Italian Festival.
Oh.
Yeah,
That sounds like fun.
it really was fun. It was really was fun. And we had some good people out there. And I was pretty excited about it. And this was like, for me, this was like a first time event because I had the opportunity to kind of get on board with the event. I had attended the event several times. And so it's a lovely couple by the name of Eva and Joey. And they started out it's kind of funny. They have this comedy troupe called the Meatballs of Comedy, because everybody's Italian. And so
Yeah.
they had planned, but we're going to do this for 2026. The Italians always have an argument between spaghetti sauce, like if they call it, some call it sauce, other call it
Mhm.
gravy. So they want to do this big, huge push and start this global debate. Is it sauce or is it gravy? And because, like, the real Italians, they will say, hey, pass the sauce, meaning, pass the spaghetti sauce for the noodles or whatever.
Mhm.
And then
Mhm.
others will say, pass the gravy. So there's been this big cultural fight. And it's kind of
Who
fun. It's like
knew?
I didn't know this either. And so they do this funny thing, and it's really a cute thing that they want to do. So that was one of the things that it was
All
the
right,
key
so
thing
let's
was.
stop right
Mhm,
there. I got to ask
mhm.
you about this because I'm sitting here
Yeah,
thinking I've never thought of spaghetti sauce as gravy, you know?
believe it or not,
So,
if you
but
yeah.
yeah, I'm thinking about it now. I'm like, well, tomato gravy, maybe.
No, 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 no. It's
Not
just
tomato
a it
gravy.
no, 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 no. It's not tomato gravy. It is just the thing that they call it gravy.
Mhm.
And
Yeah,
so,
but I mean, well, I'm not trying to give it another name. I'm just thinking like gravy
yeah.
made out of tomatoes, but I'm thinking about how, at least here in the South, how we make gravy. And
Of
it's usually
course.
from pan drippings, right?
That's right, with a little
So yeah,
flour and
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, and in Louisiana, you make a
Mhm,
roux. First, you make a roux. Only we don't
mhm,
wait long enough for it to brown that much and everything, but it's the pan drippings after you cook the meat and so forth, and then you
mhm.
put that in there, you add a little flour to thicken it
Yep.
and add some water, and you stir it all around, and you're just trying to get all that last little bit of goodness that was in
Yeah.
the pot or the skillet.
There you
So
go.
is that, I mean, I don't think of tomato
No.
sauce. I don't think of
It
sauce as being made that way for
well,
sure.
that's well, if you talk to look it up. If you look up what I'm telling you, you'll get the biggest kick out of it. Because I was like, I didn't know either. And so they were telling us this year they had, some plans that didn't quite get off, which was the gravy sauce deal. And so
Mhm.
I said, "Don't worry." I said, "We're gonna 2026. We're gonna get it all revving, and because we'll have time to kind of build up and handle some of the marketing on that." And so, a
Yeah.
lot of really great people. I wish I had the stack of wonderful. business cards that I picked up, but boy, there was a guy there named Soros, and they had a truck. There was a truck there, which I was trying to get the pictures for you, and it was called Hot Pizza on Wheels. And it was a truck that
Mhm.
had wood fire kill, pizza kill on the back. So they would actually put wood in the back of this thing. And it was a wood fire kill pizza cook truck. And on the other side, they were making fresh dough and flour. So you could stand there and watch this, and they would give the dough to the guy, and the guy would spin it, and the guy would flatten it out, and then he'd put it in the kiln, and the pizzas were fresh. Really amazing pizza. I mean, and these guys were these big old Italian guys, and it was really funny. And they
All right, I have to ask, Rodney,
Mhm.
what is on a true Italian pizza? Because I've heard people say before, oh, the way you fix it in America, that's not real pizza. That's not,
Right, right.
you
And
know.
and I'm telling you, that's something that I've got to delve into because there were pizzas of all sorts. You could get them with chicken, and you can get them with arugula, and they had
Mhm.
all kinds of pizzas. So it was like to your liking. There was some really great stuff. Then there was a guy there, and he was, I mean, you walk by and he's screaming out the window, "We got the best cannoli in LA." And he just kept saying that. "Oh, we got the best cannoli in LA." And it was really funny. And I thought that was kind of neat. So anyway, but they did apparently. And so I actually have a cannoli
Did you
around
eat
here
some? Did you
somewhere.
get some? Oh, you
Yeah.
did.
Yeah.
All
So,
right. Now
and
you
then,
you have to inform me. I feel very ignorant even saying
mhm.
this, but I've never eaten a cannoli. I have no idea what it is. I've heard
It's
it
kinda like a
before.
cannoli. Yeah, it's like a pastry, and it has kinda like a little cream in it, and how they make it, don't know, but it's kinda like it's almost like kinda like an eclair-ish kinda thing, and it's
Mm,
kinda crunchy, and so
mhm.
there was this guy that was going on and about his cannolis, and so they had pizza, and they had, other
So
items.
so
Mhm,
let me
mhm.
ask, is the filling like, when I think of an eclair, I think of the filling as being a little bit like a extra thick pudding, you
Mhm.
know? But there are other pastries that are filled with something that's more like cake frosting. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
it's a
So
little
which one is
thicker.
it?
It's not it's more like a thicker, frosting in it. So it really
Mhm.
is it has a great thing. And I just Elvira said, "I love Italian food." It's pretty funny.
Me
And
me too. I can't believe
yeah.
I've never had a cannoli before, but I think
Well,
that's because the first time I ever heard of them was after I'd already
mhm,
discovered that I was allergic to dairy. So it's like, "Oh, man,
mm,
I can't even try one of these now."
well, you might have a little problem with it because I think at some point there might be either in the sauce, that goes in it, the kind of filling
Mhm.
might have a little milk in it, but I don't know. They might have some now super duper way of
Well,
making
I'm sure there's
cannolis
some
that are more.
cream or something in it because
Yeah.
they love good food, and so they make it with really fresh, true
Mhm.
ingredients. So I doubt
This is
I'm gonna
true.
find a dairy-free cheese at an Italian festival, because I just think it's
Yep.
all gonna be, real Parmesan and,
Mhm.
mozzarella, all the great stuff.
Yeah, and they had a type of, I saw a pizza, and they just had really big, like, it was like this type of cheese, I forgot. It's just like really round and thick, and it was just like
Mhm,
slices
mhm.
of it all over the cheese, and it had tomato and arugula and mushrooms. So for you people out there, it was really good. And again, we're celebrating life, culture, food, music, and more right here on the chat session. Again, it's Rodney and Nina. And here's a clip. Here's a little picture. This was from the seventh annual. Looks like some of the fun for the Italian festival, and it was really, 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 really amazing. The people, and there was another event that was going on that kind of made traffic a little bit crazy, but overall it was a success. We had a couple little hiccups along the way, but um, overall,
Mhm.
it was a success. You know, people turned out, the community came out,
Yeah.
and it was really really nice. I have to say that I had a good time. And this year, like I said, I had contacted the consulate general. Just about, if I would have had a little more time, I would have been able to get the consulate general out. I did contact LA City Councilman Mr. Soto, and his
Mhm.
district is Hollywood. So I was trying to get him in, but his group, you
Mhm.
know, they said, oh, you know, he was tied up. So I was like, okay. So I was like, okay. So now I got my little wheels turning for 2026. And so we're going to be, you know, months and months out so we can make sure that we get it on the calendar. And I want to get in contact with the Travel and Tourism Bureau so that they could say, hey,
Mhm.
listen, put it on the calendar if you're in LA
Oh,
around this
absolutely.
date. If you're in
Yeah.
the, hey, this is something fun to do, the Italian festival. So I'm putting the old ripped marketing group noodle in high gear here. And so here's a
As you
picture of
always
my,
do.
huh?
You are a pro.
This is Chef Eva, who is, and she's a ham. I mean, she really, really is she loves to entertain and make people laugh. And so, and
Mhm.
Eva, God bless her, she was a chef in the Navy. So she calls
Oh.
herself Chef Eva. And the funny thing was, she said, I would prepare food for 5,000. So it wasn't no big deal for her. So I was like,
Mhm.
wow. And I mean, she really makes really good Italian food because I've had dinner with her, and
All right.
she
So
just fixed, yeah.
I think when we think of Italian, like an Italian festival, the very first thing I think about is the food, right?
Yes,
So,
yes,
and,
yes.
you know, I'm thinking
Mm-hmm.
spaghetti or pasta, but and
Mm-hmm.
pizza. So, but what else besides that was there? What
Oh, of
what
course.
kind
It
of
was the
Italian food was there? I'm sure there was a lot more than just spaghetti and
well, you know, it was funny because there was a wonderful group that was right next door to us. And
mhm,
it was funny. It was an African American husband and wife, and they were from Philadelphia. And I
mhm.
guess their whole thing is that the Italians really love a really mean Philly steak cheese sandwich. And so,
Really?
oh yeah, yeah, yeah. And so they were making these Philly steaks that when you make a Philly steaks and it has the bell peppers and the onion in it, and it's got all this cheese, and they put it all on the grill, and it becomes this like ball
Mhm,
of meat and
mhm,
cheese, and then they scoop it up and scrape up all the scrapings and stuff, and
mhm.
put the bun on and toast the bun, and then they throw everything in and close it up into this big old gigantic sandwich. And I was like, and I guess the more crazier the sandwich looks and the bigger it is, everybody's happy. So I was like, wow, now that's a sandwich. And so, you know, for
Now
those who
what did you eat? Did you get one of those?
I went to Sorrow's actually, and the owner, actually Joey, he called and said, "Hey Rodney, get your crew down there and go to such and such food truck. Tell them that I'll pay for the bill." And I was like, "Okay." And so that's what actually happened. And so I had a couple of dear friends of mine. I had Dan Pettigrew from Teen Day
Mhm,
Radio and KJBM,
mhm,
and Duncan and his wife showed up, and then I had another dear friend, actually, Miss Beth from LifeWave came. And so we had this really cool little video playing. I had a 40-inch monitor out there on the table, and Dan had the radio station. And so we were doing playback, and we were playing all of these Italian themed, beautiful music songs. And so Duncan and his wife, who worked at another big radio station here in LA, they
mhm.
came to support. He's also a voiceover guy for our radio station. So he showed up, and then Miss Beth showed up to help me. I had photojournalist to the stars, Catherine Bachnight. She showed up. So she was popping pictures. And so it was really, really I had a good team of support. I really do
Mhm.
appreciate, and I do appreciate each and every one of them who came out to help me because I needed help. And
Yeah.
we got through it. And for the most part, I'm pretty excited about 2026 because they gave me the publicist position and director of marketing. And I mean, and for a festival that has thousands of people that normally show up to
Mhm.
events like this, and this thing is right off of Hollywood Boulevard. This is not some little like back in the back alley somewhere. This thing is one street off of Hollywood and Highland, which is the hottest tourist destination because everybody wants to. Matter of fact, it's right one block off from the Walk of Fame where all the stars are.
Wow.
So
Wow.
we have thousands of people traipsing up and down Hollywood Boulevard. If they just walked 400 feet to the next block and just took a quick little right, that's our festival. And
My
so,
goodness. I think your nose would lead you there. Just where's those
yeah,
wonderful aromas
well,
coming from?
out,
Yeah.
out here in LA, it happens all the time. You could be driving down the street and just look down a side street. Technically, yes, as a marketing guy, they need to advertise and you need to know about it. But so many things are going on in LA. People drive and they see a bunch of food trucks. They say, "Hey, honey, you see that? Let's
Mhm.
stop." And they'll stop and they'll say, "Hungry? And let's go see what they got." And then, and all of a sudden, sometimes it looks like the crowd is just kind of, just lumbering. And all of a sudden, you look up and the whole place is packed. You got 1,000 people
Mhm.
out there. And once they
Mhm.
start seeing people coming, people start
Mhm.
seeing the crowd moving, and people go, "Oh, I wonder where they're going." And so now the crowd starts coming.
Mhm.
I'm excited because next year, oh yeah, next year. Oh, guess what? I have to keep talking. Give me 1 second. I gotta grab it for you. Keep talking.
All
So
right. Well, this is the moment then while he's grabbing something. I have to tell y'all the best pizza I ever had and that my daughter ever had. We were together. We were in Portland, Maine. So if any of you out there are in Portland, Maine, I wish I could remember there was a little grocery store, and we had gone
mm-hmm.
into this little. We're talking like a little mom and pop place, right? We had gone
I'm
into
here.
this grocery store, and I
Mm-hmm.
started smelling this wonderful aroma. I mean, fresh bread is what
Ooh.
I was like, where is that coming
Okay.
from? And at the back of the store, there was a little sign and it said pizza and showed an arrow going up these little stairs. So I go up the little
Ooh.
stairs, I kind of turn around the corner, and there's this tiny, tiny area. I mean, only enough room for two small
Mm-hmm.
tables for two.
Right.
But there was a counter there and it was closed off at the moment, but they said they were going to
Mm-hmm.
open in 10 minutes. So we waited because we were like, well, we want, it'll be fresh.
Ooh,
And
yeah.
my daughter ordered a pizza, a little,
Mm-hmm.
personal, although it wasn't, I would call it like a 12-inch pizza. It was pretty big, in my
Mm-hmm.
opinion.
Mm-hmm.
We both ate off of it. Very,
Ooh.
very fresh crust
Mm-hmm.
and so delicious. And there was nothing but tomato sauce. And
Right.
both of us said, it doesn't even seem like it's seasoned with anything, like
Mm-hmm.
it's just tomato sauce. But it also had these big blocks of cheese, like three of
Mm-hmm.
them that
Yeah.
had been melted right there. So it wasn't sprinkled all over the pizza. It was just right there. And I think they threw a little bit of fresh basil on it. I think that's all there was.
Wow.
It was
Mhm.
so good. My daughter right away said, "This is the best pizza I've ever had in my life, the best bread I've
Mhm.
ever had in my life." And I couldn't believe we were getting it in Portland, Maine, but I don't remember the name of the place. I'll have to look it up, but I do remember
Mhm.
the name of the place was Italian. So
Well,
I thought, I
listen.
think we're getting something authentic here.
Oh yeah, I'm sure you were. You were right there in the thick of it, getting really really good stuff. And I mean, oh, now check this out. This year, the actor who remembers this guy, who remembers him? Paul Sorvino. Remember Paul
Oh,
Sorvino?
yes, Paul Sorvino, sure.
Yeah. Well, sadly, Paul passed away
Oh.
like a year ago, a little more than a year ago, and his lovely wife Dee Dee. Here's Dee Dee. There's his lovely wife
Mhm.
Dee Dee. Dee Dee and Paul launch Servino Vino.
Oh, well, that makes
Ser-
sense, doesn't it?
yeah, Servino Vino. Man, I tell you, they were kind of poor, and so you could actually have a little bread and have a little communion. Praise the
Mm.
Lord. You have a little communion, and and actually, it was really really good. They actually were there, and they were doing taste tests of Servino Vino. Great. The wine company was there. Believe it or not, from what I heard, normally the wines are made up in Northern California and up in wine country. Well, it's the strangest thing. Not north, but kind of east of us is an area called Temecula, California. And it
Mhm.
was kind of like
Mhm.
farmland. They had corn and oranges and stuff like that out there. Well, guess what? Somebody few years back figured out that it also was a great place, and the ground, for whatever reason, they say produces some of the best wine. So now
Mhm.
Temecula, California is rivaling Northern California and wine country, and so they're producing these award-winning wines,
Wow.
thus Servino Vino. So big plug for them. Make sure you go and support them. www.sorvinovino.com. I'll put that in the chats for anybody who wants to order some or get some. So I'm gonna www dot SOR Vino. Yeah, there you go. SORVINO. Okay, oops, hold on, Rodney, careful. Sorvino Vino. Yeah. VINO.com. There you go. SorvinoVino.com. Make sure you go SorvinoVino.com. There it is. And
You
now I'll
know,
put that up.
I don't know why, Rodney, but yeah, I
Yeah.
see that now on the screen. Thank you for putting that there because
Yeah.
for some
Mm-hmm.
reason, my oh, let me see if that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Nope,
Yeah.
that's not it. Sorry.
Yeah.
The
Mm-hmm.
chat is not updating for me. So
Oh,
I
that
can't see
okay.
any of the comments in the chat. I'm really sad
You
about
can't.
that.
That's strange. I see all the wonderful chats, and I see everybody on here. But and again, big thank you to AC Cruz, Robin Spielman. She's on. Yeah, we have all of our people on anyway.
Oh,
But
well, okay. I
back,
just moved away to something else and came back, and now I see all of it. Great.
yeah,
I was
yeah, yeah,
missing you guys.
yeah. There we go. So I have to tell you, in addition to God blesses me with such incredible things. I don't know if it's just being in California and there's so many different things going on. After that, on Saturday night, the very next day, there was something that took place. Everybody, it was called Access Con, believe it or not, in downtown LA. This thing was it was an education group. And let me tell you something. I've been to different kind of seminars and things, but please, I'm a matter of fact, I have got to drop this in. Please, everybody, I want you to go check this out. Access. Matter of fact, we've got to have these people on con.com.
Get
Man, let
them.
me tell you, if
Yeah,
you
get them.
care about kids, boy, oh boy, oh boy, if you care about kids, oh no, that's Savino Vino. Hold on. If you go at Access Con, here we go. Yeah, accesscon.com. Let me tell you something. There was a group of people who they were all like huge people in tech and the advertising world and all of these different things. And I think they brought probably about maybe 200 kids together from the LA area.
Mhm.
And they took them all the way up to the tallest building in Los Angeles. And it was on this huge floor with glass windows all the way around. And it gave them an opportunity. I bet you 99% 90% of the kids that were there had never seen a view of Los Angeles like that. Because this is one of the top places. It was in downtown, the heart of our business district. It overlooked the, City Hall. It overlooked everything.
Wow.
I mean, you could see for probably close to 30 miles in all directions.
Wow.
So they took these kids and they had all these VIPs there, and they were talking to these kids and pouring their hearts out. There was a professional football player. I missed this because there were different little, what they call brain trusts that were going on. And if you wanted to know about business, there were people in there talking big money. I mean, they were talking about the success that they had came from nowhere and how they made it. Then they had the tech, brain trust, and they had another one. And there was some football player, and the gentleman was talking, and he was like, "You kids better pay attention to me. I cried for you." And he did. Apparently, at some point, he broke down crying in the middle of his speech. That's how, passionate he was for these kids. And I was like, wow. And so,
what was he talking about that he was so passionate
just his
about?
life, just his life, and how much he wanted the kids to really believe in themselves and to not give up. And if anybody ever told them that they weren't going to make it, and boy, I'm telling you, matter of fact, I took copious notes. Whenever I go to stuff like that, I kind of shut up and I listen. I really do.
That's wise.
I'm like taking notes. I'm like, wow. And I'm taking all these notes and making some key contacts. Boy, I met some people there. Woo-wee, Lord have mercy. I'm going to be following up with them. But the one gentleman, and he was really, really awesome. And he asked those kids, how much are you worth? And some kids, they come out with really, I'm worth $2 billion. And so the guy was like, no, I'm not gonna, mess with you like that. But he asked him, he said, well, how do you get there? How do you get to $2 billion? And so, sometimes when you say these type of things, it's possible. Yes, it is very possible. Everybody's worth $2 billion. In the name of Jesus, he died on the cross. You can't even pay enough. You can't pay enough for that.
I was gonna say, you can't put a price.
Can't put a price
how
on
valuable each one is. Yeah,
that's right. But when he came down, he started talking about business, and the one thing that he did, which I really thought about, he asked one kid, well, how much do you feel you want to make per month? And one kid said something like, he just wanted to make because they were young, they're, elementary, high school-ish kids. And he said, I just want to make a consistent $2,000. He said, okay. He said, do you know how to get there? And so he just says, okay, so you want $2,000 a month. This is what you got to do by the day. This is how much you got to do by the hour. And he says, instead of you looking at this big number, just figure out how to do this. And so anyway, we were talking to this kid, and sometimes it seems impossible to earn that kind of money. So I started talking to this young man. I said, let me tell you something. You know how to make some serious money and you don't have to work all day? I said, automotive detailing. I said, do you know you could wash 3 cars and walk away with about $350, $400 a day? You can wash 3 cars. It's only going to take you, baby, 4 hours. And I said, and at the end of it, you've got the whole rest of your day where you can go study, rest. You can take on another money making opportunity, and you're not at somebody's job. You're your own boss. And this kid, you see this kid's lights come on, and he was like, yeah, I could do that. And he started thinking about that. And I was like, look, and I started thinking about it. And I'm like, dang, Rodney, you're giving pretty good information away. I'm like, you need to use some of that yourself. And I was
just thinking what you said, not only that, but when that kid puts aside enough, he can turn around and invest it by teaching other people how to do that and hiring them, having a
It,
business. And now,
yes.
yeah. And now he's
So
helping a whole community while he's,
yeah.
that's great.
So
I love it.
when you start thinking about this, and so many times people get so disheartened about, oh, I lost my job, and and I remember, I've had jobs and weird things happen. I mean, it was just a corporate thing. I was working for a radio station, and another entity came in and bought them, and I don't know why they do this. They just blew everybody out, laid everybody off, and brought that other crew in. And I think that's kind of tacky, but they do. It's just business for whatever reason. And brother got blew out, and I remember going home, but oh boy, that experience. And sometimes in hardship comes ingenuity.
That's
And when
right.
you get thrown a curveball like that, you really take a quick self-evaluation. You go, how can I save money? I've got to cut all waste out, because now I don't have an income. I got this one last severance check on the way out. But man, between this check running out, I better make sure. So that's why when you're making money, you got to save a little bit. Yeah, you can have a little fun. And my mom always told me, oh, bless her soul. My mom, she always would say, Rodney, when you get paid, always buy yourself something. But not just waste money. She goes, go buy you a pair of socks, go buy you a shirt. And I remember when I was working for ABC News, man, payday, the first thing I did, I would get my check at lunchtime. So you got your check before the end of the day. And so, and then on the lot, there was our credit union. It was the best job on the planet. So you could get your paycheck, go to the next building, and that was the bank. So you didn't have to leave the lot. You could do your banking right there. So I would make my deposit. First thing I did, okay, Lord, this is what my check is. I got my church tithe. I'd write a check for that, fold it up, put it in my wallet. That's for Sunday. Then on my lunch break, I would take my bills and I would pay my bills. And a lot of times, because you have consistent cash flow every week, your money's coming in. So what I would do every week, I would pay my bills. Every 2 weeks, I would pay my bills. So twice a month, I would pay my light bill. And the funny thing about it is, I was always ahead. And so at one point, actually, when I got laid off, I literally had 6 months of money piled up in my electric bill. And so at one time I got a letter from Edison. Dear Mr. Rippey, you don't owe any money. Would you please stop making payments? It's causing us an accounting problem. So I was so mad when I read this. I picked up the phone. I said, excuse me. I said, did you say I'm causing you an accounting problem? Yes, Mr. Rippey, you have a credit. You don't need to pay your bill. I said, let me tell you something. I'm going to send you another check right now for you sending me this stupid letter. I said, because you know what? If I was late, you'd cut my lights off. Thank you for calling, man. And I hung up the phone and took out my checkbook. I was like, okay, $25. Because, electric bill for me being a single guy, I leave one light on. And that's it, so every time, and I had a system, man, that was foolproof. And I think that everybody needs to have a system of savings. You need to have a little money for recreation. You definitely need to tithe off the top so you can take care of that. So your money's blessed and you keep on trucking, and I really, like I said, a lot of people, you hear these weird debates about tithing to the church. And I'm like, the Lord owns it all. What's the problem with you giving up a little percentage? And you know what? I realized that I put my bills, the first bill that gets paid, sorry, Southern California is the first person I pay, Jesus. I'm like, oh, I gotta pay Jesus. Got to put that in the church pot. I do that, get that out of the way, and I'm like, now I can pay everything else. And I'm telling you, I I have to say there was a blessed covering over my finances. It was always
Mhm.
something coming in. Some people say, "Oh, well, it doesn't." I'm like, I beg to differ with you because the word, the
Yeah,
Lord asked for, yeah,
I've
yeah,
heard some people say before, "Oh, well, I don't have that much, and I'm sure God will understand." I think He does understand, but
yeah,
here's what we don't understand, is that
right.
when God tells us to do that, He's saying, "Okay, give the
Trust
first
me.
part of your income
Yeah,
to me." That's right. And
first fruit
try me, prove me, see if I won't open up the doors of
to
heaven for
heaven.
you so there won't be room to receive it all.
Can you
You may not
imagine?
see it, but this
Right.
requires you, it's an exercise in trust every time. And every
Yes.
time you do it, He proves Himself faithful. And when He proves
Right.
Himself faithful, your faith grows and you get
That's
more
right.
excited about that relationship with Him. So you're only robbing
Mhm.
yourself when you're not
That's
doing it.
right. I love that, and the Lord said He will pour out a blessing that you won't even have room to store it. Do you know how
Mhm.
much blessing that is? I want that kind of a blessing, man, because when you can have blessing just overtake you and you're like, "Oh, Lord, no, Lord, you covering me up too much." I'm like,
Mhm.
I need Lord, I need too much, please." Because we got things to do, and,
Mhm.
I just, you think about that, and, it is really something to see when, you have you have these opportunities and of course, you meet people along the way, and it's just a wonderful, wonderful time, yeah, I have to tell you that, and like I said, just being at Access Con, VIP, of course. Whoop whoop. Oh, praise the Lord. VIP in the house. I was VIP with Bill Montgomery and the Hidden Pioneers. Bill got up there, said a few
Aw.
words, and
Mhm.
I mean, I have to tell you, it was pretty remarkable because of all of the tech and the different things and the business things. And you see these kids, and their eyes were like, they were listening because
Mhm.
the
Mhm.
reality of it is they'd never been exposed to stuff like that before. They were never
Mhm.
exposed. Oh, and I still have our banner up here. And but it was really, really remarkable. And I was really excited about that, so Access Con, get that out of the way.
I
But
can understand why. I mean,
Mhm,
when somebody
mhm,
tells you something, brings something in
mhm.
front of you that was never even on your radar before, and you
Yeah.
see the potential, how can you
Mhm.
not get excited about it?
Well, I think that it's there's so many youth and people in general
Mm,
who don't have that real experience. It's never been presented to them. It's never got down to either them as a person or their community. And so let me tell you, I enjoyed it because I walked away from that thing. Woo, they had this technology there. There was a group, and they had the metaverse mixed with AI with high level video graphics, and they had this huge wall of LED monitors that kind of wrapped around and bent, and it gave you this feeling
mhm,
like you were immersed in video. It
mm.
was the most incredible thing. I left there. I went and talked to one of the executives, and I said, "Do you know what I see coming?" And he says, "What?" I said, "People are going to start getting rid of their television, and they're going to build LED walls." And he said, "You get this
Oh, wow.
because people are going to get rid of their televisions, and you're going
Mhm,
to have what you call LED panels, and they're about maybe 2 foot by 4 foot, and you lock them together. You
mhm,
lock them together, and you can make your television 30 feet across. If you got the money to just keep buying monitors and you can lock them in, and man, if you start curving the room, the effects of the video. If you're sitting there in your house and you're watching, and I know that's a bit of excess, but some people, they build home theaters at home because they just see, people are starting to get to the point that they just don't feel safe going out. Sadly, there have been some horrific things that have happened in movie theaters. I remember one time there was some bad guy that went in and just did a bunch of terrible stuff. And people like, I'll just build my theater at home. I will watch things on TV at home. I will pipe in things through the internet. And so you can get new releases right to your home. And so this is a new market that's going to happen. Oh, here's a video of a little bit of the Access Con. Again, big shout out to the people from Access.
I'm so glad you.
Right now, how much does a person who comes up with prompts for AI make right now? Take a guess. Half a million? Take a guess. How much does that average person make who's really good at AI prompting? No? Anyone over here? Take a guess. Look at me for a second. You said it would take you 10 years. You said 8 years? How many? Starting salary is how much? 80, right? You said it's about what? 7 or 8 years. In the first year, 6 months to a year of you being a great prompt engineer, you can make over 6 million. Boom. In fact, if you look at me, every one of you in here right now does not have to have a college degree right now to make $250,000 as a prompt engineer right now. Please.
So what is a prompt engineer?
Lord have mercy. It is a AI prompt engineer. That guy that was talking right there, and the big guy behind him, that was a professional football player. That was a guy, big guy, but he apparently has a little heart because he started crying talking to the kids. Anyway, but what he just said, a prompt engineer, maybe we should Google it, AI prompt engineer. Hey, that's a matter of fact, look that up. He said,
I'm doing it right now.
6 months, a young person, 18 years old, if they were to study and learn the processes to be a prompt AI engineer, $250,000 in 6 months. Now that's as my dad would say, that is some folding money. That is a quiet folding money. That's what you want, folding money. And I was like, man, so now I'm sitting there thinking like, maybe I'm in the wrong business. Brother need to get into that AI prompt engineering stuff and find out. And and again, so many nice people. Did you see that view? Did you see that view?
I did. That was beautiful.
We were on the top floor. And again, we had people there. Here's a group of the Hidden Pioneers. Matter of fact, the one gentleman to the right in the blue coat, that's Ron. Ron is actually a real true rocket science from NASA. He was on the Saturn 11 project. So he was there. Next to him is actually Bill Montgomery's assistant. He's a great guy. He's also a Lifetime Achievement Award winner, Presidential Lifetime Achievement Award winner. And then, of course, there's Bill Montgomery. There's me. Bill's got his awards on and was talking to the kids. And, we were hanging out. And I have to tell you, cool people, cool things. It was just right in the heart of downtown LA. And I have to say, I was really, really moved by all of the, you know, the immediate action that was going on for the kids and what they could see, hear, and be a part of. And so there's a new generation of teachers. There's a new generation of students and parents, educators, school district heads, superintendents. When you start seeing these type of things going on, you really kind of get a a better look on how all these things go together and how it really really helps the young people. Here's another beautiful shot downtown from right out the window. I took this. That's the Bank of America building, and we were towering over the Bank of America building. Shout out, shameless plug for Bank of America. But um, you could see 30 miles in all directions from this venue, and I was really, really happy. And
I can imagine.
Did you find
All right. So
anything yet?
yeah, I did. I did. So let me just read this to you. So this is answering the question. This is from fastcompany.com. It says, with the rise of large language model, LLM, generative artificial intelligence tools such as GPT and Midjourney, one of the most in-demand new careers in 2024, so that was even a year ago, is sure to be prompt engineer. But what is that exactly? Let's break it down. A prompt is a command given to elicit a response. An engineer is someone who builds things, whether that's bridges or software. In the generative AI space, then, a prompt engineer is a person who constructs the commands that generative AI tools will respond to. The difference between a software engineer and a prompt engineer is that a prompt engineer builds these commands using not code, but natural language. That is, speaking or typing the command in sentences that we would use in everyday conversation. Right. The type of prompt that a prompt engineer might construct depends on the generative AI tool being used. For example, if that tool is for image generation AI, such as Midjourney, the prompt may be something like, create a Polaroid style photo that looks like it's from the 1980s of Cleopatra typing on an Apple II computer. Right. If the prompt is for a text-based AI generator, the prompt could be something like, give me the HTML code for a buy now button, 500 pixels wide by 300 pixels tall, that flashes between red and green when the user clicks on it.
Yeah, and see, this is what people don't understand. There have been so many and I have to admit, in the beginning, I was kind of goofy myself, and I was thinking like, oh, this AI thing, oh, this is going to be horrible. Oh, we shouldn't have this thing. Man, I went in with a group of people and I was sitting in this room. I really wish you could see the video presentation that I was able to pull down. I'm trying to pull this up if I can find it. It was so incredible because now through keystrokes, you can tell the code or the code, what you were mentioning, they can give those instructions. And now the instructions are out there. Whoever unleashed this monster of tech, let me tell you something. Now you can literally type in, just like you say, hey, I need a picture of Mona Lisa laughing, having a cup of coffee. This thing will put it together and it will spit out a picture of Mona Lisa sitting there laughing, having a cup of coffee. And I'm like, who knew that this is the type of the future and how it can really benefit people, how it can benefit industries. And so this is the thing. A lot of people says, oh, AI is going to take jobs. Well, not particularly. What we have to do is get trained, because these machines are not going to run themselves. We have to run them. So that is why people are being encouraged to go into tech and learn how to
Mhm.
drive this
Mhm.
AI. Don't be afraid of the AI. Learn how to drive it. Tell AI what to do, and AI will.
Mhm.
You know, literally, they said. I heard this guy. He said, "Make a slave out of AI." Now
Yeah.
you ain't hurting nobody. They enslaved people and worked them like
Mhm.
dogs for hundreds of years. But this is a
Mhm.
different thing. You can enslave AI because it's just a machine. It's just, you know, numbers and
Mhm.
ones and zeros. You can beat that thing up and let it work and make
So
your
let
life easier. Uh-huh.
let me read one more paragraph here,
Sure, sure.
which tells you why this is important. This position is important. If the prompt is clear enough, the
Mm-hmm.
generative AI tool should give the exact output desired, saving a company a significant amount of time and money. And if the
Mm-hmm.
output isn't what's desired, a prompt engineer will know how to further converse with the AI to refine the final output until it's exactly what's needed.
Ooh. Eh,
So,
Let me tell
yeah.
you something. Yeah, the video, the presentation that I saw was so amazing. And now, remember back in the day, you used to have, you know, remember you had the 3D glasses?
Yes.
Well, I was in a room with this what they call an infinity wall of
Mhm.
LED monitors. They had to be 18-foot tall that just wrapped
Wow.
around this room. And they said you could look at it and see it, but if you really wanted the high def experience, they gave us these little glasses that look just like sunglasses. And when you put that thing on, it looked like there was a scene of rain, and you literally could see the raindrops falling like in front of your eyes. Like it looked
Mm,
like you were
mm,
standing in a rainstorm.
mhm.
And
You could almost
so
feel it hitting you. Yeah.
it was the most incredible thing. And I had, like I said, there. Oh, I did find a pizza slice. This is from the Italian festival. Yeah, that was just
Ooh,
for you people who are hungry. Italian festival, olives, cheese, tomatoes, very, very
you
good.
got me
These are,
hungry.
I'm telling, and these were some of the principal. I don't mean to jump around in my thoughts, but these were some of the principal people that were there. That and just meeting the one gentleman in the black hat, he was the gentleman that was really talking to the youth and
Mhm.
inspiring them. And the gentleman in the back was apparently, from what I just walked in his office, and he had some kind of watch company, and he designed these high-end watches. The other gentleman was a filmmaker. I have to tell you, it was pretty amazing. I was glad. And the thing about this, the strange thing, it was on Sunday. It was on Sunday, and this thing
Mhm.
went from 9 o'clock to 4 or longer. And then after that, there were all these breakout meetings, and people sat down and talked, and really, really amazing. I was really
Sounds
blown
like you had
away.
a great weekend, all the
Yep,
way
yep. And
around, a great weekend.
there's Jerry, the hidden
Oh,
pioneer assistant to Bill. The
mhm,
other young lady, she was a Indian music artist, and so she was telling me that she apparently started from nowhere, and now she
mhm.
has like a few 100,000 followers on social
Wow.
media for her music, and so she's getting
Mhm.
ready to cut a big record deal. And I was like, "Wow, wow."
Now, isn't that kind of the way Justin Bieber started too? You know, he just
Yeah, there's
started putting
always
his stuff out there himself and yeah, and then he
mhm,
got a following and then they had, people started chasing him, I think. So, and the
that's
thing
how it
is,
mhm,
yeah, anyone can harness the technology and the tools to be able to do that.
mhm. That's right.
You know, you
And
do
the
have to
thing
learn
about it
some
is
things, but yeah.
right, right, and I think that is the most empowering thing about the age that we're in, and what that gentleman was saying to these young kids, he told them, he asked this one kid, "Well, when do you really want to start your career? And the young person was like, oh, well, after I get out of school and go to college. And he was like, sorry, no, wrong. And you can start now, right now.
Mm-hmm.
And to
Mm-hmm.
hear that guy say that, it just put it in perspective for me. And I was thinking, wow, Rodney, and I think back to my my era of time, and I said, you know what, Rodney, could I have well, I now in hindsight, I look at it and I go, Rodney, could you have pushed harder when you were in school? And I had to admit to myself, yeah, I could have. And so I
Mm-hmm.
told this one young man, I said, sir, listen, I was young like you once. I told him, I said, please listen to these people and take their instruction and put it in action. I said, do not wait till you're my age to start. I'm going to take the world by storm. I was like, do that now. I mean, because you
Mm-hmm.
literally can start to
You
make change.
literally can. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. The
And
world has changed that much. All the information you need, you can get a lot more easy than we ever could before.
yeah.
And
Re-
yeah, and you can teach yourself. You can literally teach yourself almost
mhm.
anything.
Remember back in the day, everybody used to have the Encyclopedia Britannica. Remember,
Yes.
you have to get and I
Mhm.
remember, that was like, oh, we've got the Encyclopedia Britannica, and you got all these
Mhm.
books, and it takes up a whole bookshelf. Now,
Mhm.
all you need,
And it was obsolete in 5 years. Yeah,
that's right.
most of it. Yeah.
All you need is your cell phone now, and the encyclopedia and beyond is in that
Mhm.
thing. And that's what Bill Montgomery
Mhm.
was there talking about, the pocket computer. These are
Mhm.
not these are
Mhm.
not cell phones, these are pocket computers. And so Bill was there talking about that, and it was really, really remarkable. And big shout out, we got a new viewer on. We got Donald Randall. He was
Yeah.
like, "Hey, this is a wonderful conversation." Donald Randall, DJ Highlights. He's a great guy. I know him out of Texas, and he actually is a producer. He's a television producer and produce things and film and everything, and big tech guy and music guy. So big shout out. Thank you, sir,
Well,
for
now
coming
that's the
on.
perfect segue for the next question I had. I want to bring the
Hmm.
conversation back around to the Italian festival because we've got
Hmm.
like maybe 2 minutes left now.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I always think of food first with Italian
Hmm.
anything because their food
Hmm.
is so excellent, but there has
Hmm.
to have been some music and
Yes,
maybe some other things. What else would there be at an Italian festival? I think opera and, so
there was some great singers. Matter of fact, I had an actual action picture of a gentleman singing, and yes, he was there. There we go. He was
oh,
singing his
wow.
heart out, as you can see, and really great guy. He actually had just got back from, I think he said, Texas, and they had flown him, and he flies all around the country, and he sings in Italian, he sings in
Mm,
Spanish, and it's funny. He says, I don't speak French, but he knows a French song, so he likes to go out, and he's really that real true Italian singer, and so he sings in
mhm,
Italian. There was also another wonderful lady there singing, just fantastic. And every year we have really great talent and people who show up. And again, people from the entertainment industry, people from the music industry, and everybody's welcome to the Italian festival. If you like Italian food, no matter who you are,
mhm,
everybody likes a great bowl of pasta and things. And I know that you have to be careful, but there's the plant-based flour and all kind of stuff that they're using now.
mhm,
So you really can enjoy yourself and have a good time and eat really good
mhm,
stuff, and it's not so bad. I was trying to find a a little video actually of some of the singing and fun stuff that was going on there at the festival. And I had a little video. I had a little video that was just kind of like the highlights. We were there at the setup. I was there early, so it was like the setup and the kickoff to the thing. Here we go. A little video from the highlights from the festival.
I got so twice, but the ticket didn't like Angelina. Angelina, the waitress at the pizzeria. I give up soup and minestrone just to be with her alone. Angelina. Angelina, the waitress at the pizzeria. A ti voglio bene. Angelina, io doglio. Ti voglio bene. Angelina, I live for you. È una passione. You set my heart on fire. But Angelina, never listen to my song. C'è la luna in mezzo al mare, mamma mia, ma mare dare. Figlia mia, chi da dare, mamma mia, pensacci tu. Se tu un musicante, il suo pane, il suo vene, lo strumento manteni. Se ci picchia fantasia, lo strumento, figlia mia. Oh mamma, tutte vite baccalà. Oh mamma, zoom, zoom, baccalà.
What a great way to end the show.
Yeah, excuse me. There you go. Make sure
We
you go out.
were
and
both back here jamming out to that.
That's right. Make sure you get some SorvinoVino.com. Sorvino Vino. Have a little great pasta. Have a little bit of red wine. Have a little communion. In the name of Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. Have a little communion. And it was funny. I did that in a comedy thing. I told him, I said, I'm having communion. And everybody, this guy came up to me after the comedy. He goes, Rodney, I'm going to use that. Every time he goes, I'm going to use that communion. And it was really funny. This guy came up to me. I was doing comedy. But anyway, yes, we have little Mika. Hi, Mika. Oh, stop it. I know you want to go out. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. I know. I know.
So excited.
Anyway, well, everybody, God bless you. I hope you had a wonderful stop with the kisses. Okay, stop with the kisses. Anyway, and I hope everybody has a great Monday. Make sure you get out there. Have a great week. May God bless and keep you. Stay safe. Eat well. And please come back and see us again here on the chat session on the This Way Network. And Nina, I'll let you close us out.
All right. Thank you all for joining us today. And please come back next week. We'd love to see you again. And be of good courage. God is with us, and we aren't alone. Bye, everybody.
That's right. God bless. See you later, and have a great week.